Before we get started with today's video, I just wanted to let you know that the LEGO City is a work in progress. Everything can change, whether it be modular building placement, road and train track configuration, general layout, essentially anything that you can imagine probably will change at this point. It's just a work in progress. The main objective of today is to continue working on the LEGO City, getting our generic alignment done, and also just our generic placement done. It's definitely a process, it's a fun process, and we get lots done today in this video. Wow, this actually looks really good, doesn't it? After filming the last video, I stood right here and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so impressive. And I didn't even include that in the video. But yeah, welcome back to another LEGO City update, everybody. Today, we're gonna be bringing the LEGO City to the next level. We're gonna be inserting our large platform that we recently built that spans 200 inches by 15 inches. And we're gonna be inserting that right here in the LEGO City along the back wall. So we will be raising up all of the modular buildings here in this video today. Here in the garage, you can see the platform that I built the other day. I did a comprehensive overview of how I built this on our other channel, which is now known as the Bricksies. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do and make sure you subscribe. So we built the table frame using 2x6s, and the table frame spans 192 inches. Then we screwed short IKEA legs to the base of the frame. So I learned how to shorten the Adil's legs. Look at them. Aren't they cute? Pretty awesome, hey? Then once I had the frame built, I topped it using 5 pieces of 40-inch melamine. Those are these pieces right here. So we're gonna haul the tops down, we're gonna haul the frames down, we're gonna insert them in the LEGO City, and then we're gonna screw the tops in place. Before I start hauling that stuff down here, the first thing I need to do is clear a path because those frames are pretty big. So we gotta get rid of all this old wood and old tables here. And I could probably sneak by the mill plates there. Probably sneak by my cat. But we also have to make space for the frames because they're massive. And I recently put all of these modular buildings on the table. So in order to get the frame in there, comfortably, I probably got to remove all of this stuff just to make sure we don't damage any Lego. So probably remove all of this Lego, put the frame in, probably put the first frame in, I should say, screw the tops on, then put all the Lego back. So it's going to be quite the process. Let me just clean up some of this mess here so I can insert the first frame without damaging any modular buildings. First frame's in. We also moved all the modular buildings, so now we can bring in the second. So I actually am doing this on my own, so it is a little bit sketchy. Not a little bit sketchy, but a lot sketchy. Sketchy in a big way, I should say. That rhymed? Okay, but yeah. The trick is, though, I got to get this end down there and that end over there. And I've got modular buildings all around me. Okay. Let me just throw this up and over the head. And up and over. There we go. Oh, what did I hit? Assembly square. Oh, that's heavy. Okay, there we go. Slide this in place. There we go. Okay, so now I've got to screw the 2 frames together, get all the legs at the right height, push them up against the back wall there so they're all square, and then screw these plates in because those 2 frames share a leg. Then haul in all the melamine, put all the tops in. They are sagging a bit, like sort of folding in toward one another, but that's because there's just one little piece of wood holding them together. But once I put the melamine on top and screw it into both sides, all over the place, it should pull the frame together and sit pretty flush. Sorry, I'm sort of out of breath. But yeah, I think the next thing I have to do is adjust the legs, screw them together, and then start putting the tops on. I pre-drilled all of my pilot holes and also my countersinks out in the garage so I don't get sawdust all down here. All right, all the tops are on. Beauty, everything went to plan. It's pretty level. Look at that. Pretty darn close. Like that's pretty much level. I mean, there are the adjustable legs, so we could give it the micro adjustments, but that is pretty much spot on. And it's perfect. I will say that our wall isn't perfectly straight, so it's got a little bit of a gap in some areas, but yeah, like you can see the gap gets larger over there. But whoa, I'm excited to start placing some modular buildings. This is crazy. It looks awesome, hey? Look how tall the Avengers Tower is up there. One thing we need to do is switch the side of the A. The A needs to go there, or we need to switch its position or build another A. That's ultimately what we should do, I guess. But yeah, now look at this. So over here, I placed these modular buildings. Look how visual they are. Like you can see both rows of modular buildings. So when we get them all on the platform and all in front of the platform, you're going to be able to see pretty much all of the modular buildings perfectly. And it's like the perfect height, right? Boom. Of course, we're not going to put train track here. The train will be running underneath the platform, turning and going around, and then back under the platform. Now, there is the other sections over here that I have to decide what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to extend this platform from the Avengers Tower over to here. I don't know how far we would bring it out if we do that. Probably will do it. Just have to build our beach. Sorry, not our beach, but our boat docks to determine how much space we need for that platform. So before I build that one, just want to give it a little bit of thought and place all the modular buildings, sort of visualize what this is going to look like, and then start thinking about what this platform could potentially look like as well. Moving modular buildings, it's always fun. Making sure everything is square is the most important thing when working on a massive layout. And it's very hard to do because, as you can imagine, a base plate is 10 inches by 10 inches. And we've got all these different tables and measurements and platforms now, and road plates and modular buildings and park plates and all these different things that have got to fit together seamlessly and cohesively. And making sure the measurements is correct is one of the most difficult things. So generally what I'll do when starting a big layout is just throw everything down and start clipping things together using tiles or pins just to make sure that everything is square and locked in. And that's what you see me doing now. It's just so important to make sure that everything is to the right specified measurement of the tables. The multi-tiered layout looks crazy. It's like a museum. It's like a Lego archive. It's wild. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we're still working on. Obviously, this is not finalized. The positions of buildings, the positions of train track, the configuration of road can all change. And let's have a look at what we accomplished today. On this table here, this is where our boat docks will go. I think we're going to put the gas station / the Quickie Mart next to the boat docks. We put some modular buildings on the raised platform and also in front of the raised platform. That platform is 200 inches. I think we're going to create a 40-inch platform for right here, and that's going to continue the back row of buildings up top and continue the row of buildings in front of the platform. The exact layout of the modular buildings, I'm not sure, but what I do know for sure is that all the pop culture stuff is going to be over here. Definitely got to come up with a better idea for the placement of the Diagon Alley. I don't know what we're going to do with that, but I think I got to build the platform next. Just got to sleep on it and think if we're going to make it 40 inches or if we're going to make it bigger or smaller, or if we're not even going to make it at all. So then we have the modular buildings up top and the modular buildings down low. Now you can see I've done something a little bit different right here. I've put a couple curves here, and we put the town square in front of town hall. So that's a little bit different. We also put 2 of the half corner buildings right there, and then corner buildings on either side. So there's like little walkways going behind town hall. I think that was pretty cool. One thing that we have to work on is the train track. We'll talk about that in one moment. You can also see that we have about 5 inches right up here up top. So that's where we're going to put like a cobblestone walkway of some sort all the way along in front of those modular buildings there. But I thought this was pretty cool, the way the road curves, and then we just have space for that town square. I thought that was pretty neat. And then of course, what we would do is put the entrance to the amusement park right there. And then of course the train track, when we put it in, will have to curve along here. and then go back under the platform over there, depending on what we decide to make over there. Okay, so train track, of course, it's going to go underneath the platform, like I mentioned earlier. That's probably the main point of having the platform. Well, there's 2 points, I guess. To get stuff up off the ground so it's visual and multi-tiered, that's 1 point. And then also to help with train track and how much space it consumes. Because obviously when the train runs under there, it takes up a lot less space. So it's pretty awesome. So you can see the train track fits perfectly between the legs there. And that's when it curves like this right there, and boom, goes there. Now what's nice about this layout with the train track actually over here is that it turns perfectly and then can align with the road for the straights. So you can build a railroad crossing right here. Obviously, like I said, road plate configuration is going to change. Another thing that I could do is actually change all of these roads so that it accommodates the train track on the road. You can see the train track is actually, I believe, 8 studs wide, 2, 4, 6, 8. So the sidewalk is only 6 studs. So I'd have to lose 1 or 2 studs right here of sidewalk, move the road over, and then we could actually put the train track on the road. You know what I mean? So it's like right beside the road. If we lose this sidewalk here, which I don't think I'm a huge fan of. I think I want this sidewalk here, and I think I want the train track to run like this, especially when you look at how it aligns with this road here. So that leaves us with this dilemma here. The train track will have to bridge across here. It's going to be really easy though. You can see that the train track is already on half base plates. So what I would do is I'd build these roads as 1.5 mills plates. So they'd be 1.5 base plate mills plates, and I'd probably connect the bridging roads. So this 20-inch section, which is 2 plates, would be 1.5 plates by 2 plates, one solid chunk. And then I'd probably pin it to the modular buildings and pin it to the other roads. So it'd be really strong. Trains are pretty light, so it should be able to just act as a mills plate bridge crossing over. You know, like it would be really strong. Even if I made it 4 base plates long, I could even modify 4 road plates and make it real strong right here. So we could build a mills plate road, but then we're gonna have to figure out how it's gonna curve here, curve around, and then curve back. Should be fairly easy though. Honestly, with mills, it's super strong. So that is the idea for the train track. Actually, let's place a train on the train track. Yeah, so here we go. The train would pop out from underneath the table there, turn around the corner here, and away it goes. I actually really like this because, you know, the train track is separate from the road and you still have your sidewalk and you can fence it off and stuff like that. I know we could combine it with the road and save room, but I think I like this the most. I think that's probably what we're gonna do. And this actually opens up the half base plate behind the modular buildings as well. Because we slid that train track out here, now we have that half base plate, which you can see there's 4 MERPs on right there. So that's the 4 MERPs. You can see how they line up there. So what's really cool about using the MERPs and also the half base plate is I could actually move the MERPs forward. And what that did is created a gap right there. And then we could actually fill that gap with Lego, increasing the amount of space that we have for our cobblestone walkway going along the top. Now my plan isn't to use all MERPs, that's boring. Like I'm not gonna make it a cliff edge everywhere. Some of them are gonna be stone walls, maybe, yeah, probably a combination of stone walls and MERPs. The main use of the cliff edge or the MERP, which is medium ugly rock pieces, would actually be over here where Ninjago is. Because we're gonna have this whole Ninjago area, right? So we'd probably put MERPs all right here and have this as some sort of rock edge. And then we could elevate the temple up onto the rock edge and have a tunnel going into the mountain and under. And then as we work our way into the city, it'll be more like stone wall with like arches and stuff like that. But it's really cool. Having that half base plate behind the modular building is going to allow us to do cool stuff. So if we move those MERPs forward, it gives us, 4 studs or something like that we can work with up here. Maybe we can extend our pathway. Maybe we can make it, put some greenery or some gardens or something like that. It's going to be a work in process, that's for sure. What's the plan with the Ninjago? So you can see like Ninjago is really neat. It's got a base plate, then a plate, then the blue to represent water, right? So I don't know if I'm going to mills plate these, to be truthful. I don't know. Because when you take a road plate that's on a mills plate and you put it up there, it looks proper. So honestly, I don't think Ninjago needs to be mills plate because Ninjago is already at what I would consider to be water level. You know what I mean? Like the base plate of it is at water level. So I can't really Mills plate it because that's gonna bring it up higher. It's pretty much already like that. Like it's ready to go. So my intention would be to frame this area with roads or, you know, the Spring Lantern Festival or whatever it is, and then put water around Ninjago, maybe even like a cliff edge backdrop or something, and water all the way around that is the same height as this. Base plate, plate, tile. And then the roads and everything around it is higher. So it just sort of makes sense, right? And then we'll have like a cliff edge here, and maybe that cliff edge will like extend behind it or something. There's so much opportunity for what we can do with that. And obviously this all has to be converted to mills too. And when we do that, that's going to give us more opportunity for some sort of rolling hills or something like that. That would conjoin with maybe the water or the lake of Ninjago. So I know all of you have some great ideas and tons of suggestions in regards to this layout, and they're going to be in the comment section below. One thing I will say is that I just unfortunately can't read and respond to every single one of them, but we are working our best here to create something that is amazing. I do read most of your comments. I unfortunately just don't have the energy to respond, you know, to a paragraph comment. I can't respond to 100 of those a day. It's just, I just don't have the energy or the time to do it because I'm just trying to get this done. I was saying to Jose the other day, we have this giant Lego backlog that I want to build. I want to build this stuff live. I want to build these Star Wars helmets and the Vespa and all these different things. And I just don't even have time to build Lego because I've been working on this layout. I've also been working on some stuff behind the scenes with Jose and her pregnancy and us expecting twins. And also been working on our rental property and stuff like that. So I've been absolutely swamped with building tables, doing cities, editing videos, uploading videos, taking on pretty much the full workload of Bricksie here. Because as you can see, I've been doing all of this on my own, right? So I've been trying to build Lego and trying to read and respond to as many comments as possible. And I know you all have great ideas. I do read most of them and take a lot of them into consideration. And I do appreciate your continued viewership and everything like that. I think I've covered all the concepts and ideas that we're talking about here today, such as the roads, the cliff edge, the Ninjago area, the cobblestone walkway, the train track going underneath the platform, the other platform over there potentially, and much, much more. So we're going to continue chipping away here. What's come next? Well, I got to sit down and look at this layout, make sure that all of this stuff is good. Obviously, these modular buildings can be very easily moved around and put into different positions. So I've got to do that. Also, I've got to start bringing roads out this way, locking in all these buildings. Same with the amusement park. We got to start locking in all this stuff and just sort of try and get our basic layout going here and just get everything locked in and also everything square. That's the most important thing, is getting everything square so that it all fits properly and all looks cohesive and looks good and fits on the tables perfectly. So that is our top priority, is just to get everything square, everything leveled off, everything looking good with a basic layout. And of course, get this train fired up because that's going to be super cool. But I'm probably going to build the 40-inch platform next, so you'll see that right away. And that's really about it for today. Thank you so much for coming on by. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff. Everybody, farewell. Doesn't that look good? There's the view that we saw at the beginning of this video. There's the new and improved one. I love that. It's like a museum. All right, take care, everybody. Farewell.